I'm Mark Beck.
And I'm Stephanie Thompson, and we're coming to you from Sunset Plaza here in Kalispell, Montana.
And this is Selling Montana, a podcast about business, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And we have Darel Handley from...
Handley.
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 I'm just kidding.
You know how often I rarely ever say the last name right?
Oh my gosh.
It's fine.
Darel, I'm horrible with names. Okay?
That's okay.
I'm horrible with names. Like, just to tell you how horrible, the last girl I dated, I didn't remember her name for 2 years before.
I forgot about
I think
that.
that's why she started dating me. She was like,
okay,
this
Mac
guy
Back.
doesn't know my name. I'm going to kill him.
It's all about the chase.
You're Mac back from here on out.
Mac Beck. Mac Matt.
Yes,
Darel,
it is.
you're with Grizzly Home Loans, correct?
Yes.
What is it that you do?
Oh my gosh, I do all kinds of home loans.
Okay.
We
and
get as creative as
counseling,
possible.
and I'm
Yep.
just kidding. I'm
Yep.
very feisty today. Look out.
Hey, it ends up being counseling.
It does.
When you've done some dirty deals like I've done, yeah, you kind of gotta get in the trenches with them. So,
Heck yeah.
yeah. But we do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I think I'm probably my best when I get to sit down in front of the clients and care for them and talk through their needs and specifically, find that loan that fits their need. You know what I mean? It's just a different thing. It's not a kind of a one size fits all. I work with self-employed borrowers. They make a lot of money, but then they don't make a lot of money.
Well,
Paper.
Matt, yeah. And so here's the bank statement loan concept, right?
Yes.
Okay. And these are becoming more and more popular, especially at these higher interest rates, because if you really look at it, if you're a business owner and you write off a lot of your income on expenses, right?
Yep.
And so that you avoid your tax liability. Okay. Look at what your tax liability is. Look and what's the difference between the bank statement loan and like a conventional?
It's typically a point or two, although I just closed one recently and it was half a point difference.
See, and this is exactly what I'm saying, is it may be worth it to pay a little bit more in interest and less in taxes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
do the bank statement loan. It's getting to that point now. And I'm like looking at this, considering, and I was like, okay, maybe that's a better option for me,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a touchy subject because, most people's bottom line is, hey, what's the rate? My phone rings 10 times. What's the rate right now?
Yeah.
What, and
You said it went down today.
yeah,
Well, we
it's
never-
5 days in a row.
Wait, so
Rates
what's it? What is it?
I mean,
I know
it
there's, like,
varies
so
based on
many-
the credit
I know.
profile, but I mean, mid
Ish.
sevens,
Mid
low-
seven. Okay.
mid to low sevens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I want to vomit.
That's the APR though, right?
well, no, it's there.
Okay. All right.
With
I
all
saw
the
I
fees
saw a
and things,
different
it's still
update
higher, but-
this morning that said like 689.
Okay.
But the APR was 7.1
Yeah.
or something like
Well, it's
that.
funny if you Google anything or look at any kind of the charts,
I've just got a
such a
lender that like
discrepancy.
just plugs it to
Yeah.
me every week. So, but yeah,
yeah, don't mention their name, but
I won't.
yeah,
No.
You can send me rates too, though, Darel.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm going
you can
to
send me rates.
I'm going to text them to you.
Okay, text me.
Oh, even better. Oh my gosh. I haven't got to work with Darel as much, but I am hoping that we get to work a lot more together. But
Yes, we've
we're
got
doing
one in the works.
and they go on and on. It is so funny. I told him that the gal interrupts me at least 6 times minimum every 5 minutes to tell me how great Darel is. Like, I'm not kidding.
I've got one fan.
You have a
Tell her
few.
not to talk to my wife.
Okay.
But,
She says that all the time. Darel's wife is so lucky.
My word, I love it.
Who
Who
is this lady?
We better not say it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's super sweet.
Super sweet. Yeah. Darel's a good people person, and he means what he says. He takes care of people, and
Thank you, Steph. I
yeah,
appreciate
has a
that.
heart for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when you guys reached out to jump on here and be a part of this, and yeah, just be able to laugh a little bit,
Absolutely.
talk to business. I know you have all kinds of different characters on here, so
We have a little bit of everything from politicians to Miss Montana to
You didn't bring your
lenders.
crown today.
Yeah, where's your crown, Darel?
I could actually run and get it. It's in the car.
We'll just have to do a
Homecoming
follow-up
King-
episode.
Homecoming King from high school, but I still
Were
carry
you
it.
really?
No.
Oh, I was like, that's
It's like, what? I want to see these pictures. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, great.
Where you grew up and how you ended up here. And
So I'm actually a military kid. My dad and stepmom both retired Master Chiefs in the Navy, but we moved around a lot of different places. My final growing up years were probably in Washington State, and then went to college, met my wife, and we moved to Montana, actually to go on staff at Canvas Church. And we were there for several years. And then 5 years ago, jumped out of that and jumped into the marketplace, and I've just
you found your calling.
Absolutely. I love what I do, and mortgage is important, but it's definitely, you guys know this. It's bigger than the house being sold. It's the people behind it. And so I do love that. And yeah, wife, 2 kids, and 13, just turned 13, just turned 10. It's pretty nutty right now around our house.
That sounds like it.
It's fun.
Sounds like a lot
Never
of
a dull
energy.
moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Do they water ski?
They do not.
Oh,
They do not.
okay. You're slacking, Darel. We gotta get them out there.
No, but there's a lot to watch. So yeah, they watch, and it's fun. It's fun.
Yep.
Maybe they will. Boats are expensive though.
Oh yeah, I'm selling mine if you want to.
Yeah,
Well, I don't buy a
That's a
boat.
sad time.
Yeah,
Forever? Are you getting another one?
probably. I need to buy another
Very
house.
good.
yeah.
So I just sold my house last summer.
I know a
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I can put you in
You-
contact.
your
For a
favorite
boat
realtor
or a house?
for both.
The awesome thing is that you have bought and sold real estate, and then you just built last year, so you kind of know all the
Yes.
different things and how to. Yeah, personally, it's like way different once you go through it personally. I feel like you have a lot more compassion for people, especially right now buying with 7%.
Well, yeah, that's
crying.
that's the big conversation. It's the one that kind of consumes all of our conversations right now, right? I mean,
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to hold off. But, I was thinking on my way here this morning, like, I don't think there's ever been a better time. People go, no, 2020 was the best. I think right now is an incredible time to get a home.
Yeah,
There's still you can still, get the seller credits, and, prices, there's opportunities to bring in, come in lower. And I don't know. I just, all the clients I'm working with there's a lot of excitement. I feel like things are really starting to pick up. What are you guys seeing?
Valley Vista Properties is a full-service property management company located in Kalispell, Montana. We manage long-term residential rentals, short-term and vacation rentals, commercial property, and homeowners associations. Our service area includes the greater Kalispell area, including Whitefish, Columbia Falls, Big Fork, Lakeside, Summers, and Kyla. Our owners have a combined 50 years of experience in property management, including a licensed real estate attorney and an IREM accredited residential manager. We're currently growing our portfolio in the Flathead Valley, and we would love the opportunity to serve you.
Oh yeah.
So I just pulled data for a client who's looking to buy in Whitefish, and so Whitefish specifically has a 5.8 month run of inventory, 5.8 month absorption rate of its inventory. National Association of Realtors says a fair market is 6 months of inventory. So you're almost back to a fair, even market between buyers and sellers.
Oh, wow.
So I do think it is stabilizing the market. This is the new benchmark. Prices are not coming down.
Right.
Yeah.
That if you think that's, I'm going to wait till they crash. You are waiting till you're going to rot in your rocking chair
I
there.
just pulled
It
a
ain't
report
happening.
yesterday of Kalispell prices, and Kalispell prices are actually up from a year ago.
Yes.
They're
Whitefish is too. So last year they had a slump, which is why they raised
Everybody
rates.
did.
Everything
Yeah.
had a slump. Last year was the worst year in count of transactions since 1996.
Really?
Yes. Yep. The worst, the lowest amount of transactions nationally since 96. And it was the least amount of transactions in the Flathead since 2009.
Oh my
So it's not going to get
We survived
worse than the
last year.
worst.
We
Like,
survived.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it's crazy.
And you
So-
guys, honestly, on like a personal level, for your company, you had a great year last year, didn't you?
Stephanie had a great year. Mine was okay. Megan's was okay. It wasn't anything to
Yeah.
write home about.
But compared to what you're saying,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we made it
Absolutely.
through.
Realtors
Like
that didn't do a
literally,
deal.
we were
I know
saying we made it
the
through.
Yeah.
the average realtor last year did 1.2 deals. I think I closed 9.
Okay.
I've closed 8 so far this year. I will have closed 8 so I've already done my whole year in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way better.
Congratulations.
So-
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
I had praise God, I had the best year I've ever had last year. And this year though, going off of what Mark just said, this year I already have closed more transactions in the first 2 quarters than I did probably in the first 3.
So if we
Last
see
year.
any,
awesome.
Yeah.
if we see any movement in rates at all,
Yeah.
it's gonna get way better.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it
The
is-
market
it is
will get way
coming.
better. Yeah.
Well, and it might get a little crazy though again. Like there's some price points that people are bidding wars and
Yes,
Exactly.
and that's what I was saying on my way here this morning. That's what I was thinking about. I was going, this
This is
right
the
now.
best
if
I
you're
kind of
thinking
want
about
rates
buying-
to hold so that I can buy like this summer.
Yeah,
you and me both.
I want rates to hold, and then if they when they start trailing down, it's like, okay, wait that 6 months to a year and then refinance, and then
Right.
but scoop that equity up now. You
Yeah.
know, cement that in.
we were all hoping that the landscape would be a little different. The rates would be lower.
Yeah.
They're just not right now, and I think
Yeah.
everything continues to push out a little bit. But I mean, the consensus across the board from the loudest voices that actually know what they're talking about,
Yeah,
we got to see some movement within the next 6 to 12 months downward.
for sure.
Yeah,
on rates.
yeah, because it's right now. It's pretty much. It's like it's been locked up. The market's just been locked up.
Yeah.
Sellers won't sell.
Yeah.
Buyers can't buy because there's no inventory.
And my mindset over the last month, especially because rates were doing this for a minute, has been, okay, it's okay. I can live with it because I can afford the payment. And I'm just going to focus on saving money after this to refinance in 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's
I was
like
on a-
got to be your new mindset.
Yeah, well, for sure. I was going to tell you, I was on a call with a client the other day, and they're moving here, and we were going over rates, and I mean, there was a lot of lulls in the conversation as she was kind of stomaching what the payment could potentially be. And you guys are not unfamiliar with this. I don't want to act like this is new information.
No, but people that listen.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So if
totally.
you're there listening, these temporary rate buy downs are not a joke. I mean, her payment as we went from what her full grown payment would be to what it could potentially be with a 2-1 or a 3-2-1 buy down. I mean, we were talking $1,000 a month for the first year,
Difference.
$700
Yeah.
for the second. And then, I mean, it's just,
We're doing
that
a 2-1 buy down
changes.
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're
So-
building. We're doing
so,
it. Yeah.
So you're looking at, instead of a $4,000 a month mortgage, you're looking at a $3,000 a month
Yeah.
mortgage with
yeah,
those
3,
roughly.
31. Yep.
Because that's what I don't look at a lot of closing disclosures because realtors, we don't really get that. But I'm looking at payments and it's like, yeah, you're like $4,000 a month just to buy,
Yep.
$600,000 house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. That's a sizable. I mean, that same payment was what, $2,500?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Now you know why I cried
Yeah.
the day I found out my payment.
we're talking about a larger loan amount. But even, I know there's people that are probably going to watch this that are going, this is never going to be my story. I'm not going to own a home. I just closed a loan yesterday with a client. We were able to get a large enough credit from the seller to
Yeah.
buy their first home. We brought the rate down into the mid 5s
Wow.
just so they could
Wow.
qualify and close.
That's amazing.
They wrote me a review last night and I was like, oh my gosh, I almost cried myself.
Wow.
I was like,
Can you tell us how much that was?
what do you mean? The house
What?
price?
No. Just the credit amount. How much?
It was actually 6%.
And that's the maximum.
350,000. So, yeah, it was
So
like
third,
25 grand or something.
yeah, $25,000 buy down.
Wow.
And why wouldn't you? Like, especially as
Yeah.
a seller, like,
And they literally would never be able to buy a house. But yet, in a minute, the seller was like, yeah, this doesn't change anything.
yeah.
We just, lifted up the price of the house and it was,
Most sellers are going to reduce the price of their home 6% anyways, 6 to
Yeah.
10% anyways. Right now in this market, you're going to take a 6 to 10%, subtraction. So why you might as well just buy the rate down if that's what they need.
It's so crazy what it like. There's always trends that go through the market, and it's crazy. It like goes nationwide in a way, like where you offer sellers concessions or you're offering more stuff with interest rates. But like now the new thing is like the buy down. And I forgot where I was going with it, but I will pick it back up in a minute.
Yep.
Wow, I totally lost my train of thought.
no.
Wah, wah. I know, I totally lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, Steph.
Oh
That's
my
right.
That's what these buttons are here for.
I know.
Yeah,
Gonna get you.
I hate to hear people get the depressive.
Oh, I know what I was
Never
going
do
to
it.
say.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more thing that people are the sellers are fixing stuff, and sellers are having to get used to price reductions or offers under asking like that, and they're accepting them.
Yeah.
Like, so don't be afraid just because something is a price.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get.
Never be afraid to make an
no.
offer. Like,
No.
you're not going to offend them. And if you do, then, oh well, move on to the next house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never afraid to put in a low offer.
Let me
I
ask
got
you
one
guys a
accepted
question.
yesterday under
Did you?
100,000 under asking.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I think that's huge. Like,
Huge.
yeah, that does not happen.
Remember 2 years ago, if it wasn't 50 to 100 over asking?
Yes. Yes. I remember a $250,000 over asking.
Oh, I never had one that bad. I think my biggest was 75,000 over ask.
I think my biggest was 75 to 80, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had lost out on like 5 other homes. And it was like,
Yeah.
this is the magic number.
Yep. The one that was like 250 over was Lower Valley. I think it was 5 or 10 acres. They wanted it so bad. And I was like, you could just go 100, but they had sold a home that was, they were paying cash, and it was like, maybe we'll need $100,000 on a loan or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you guys a question, like,
Yeah.
for those people that are listening and they maybe feel like they're never going to be able to do it. I have a policy for myself, and I know a lot of lenders don't share the same policy, but when someone reaches out to me and they say, hey, I'd love to just explore, I tell them all day long, let's set up an appointment, meet me at my office. How do you guys feel about people that might be interested and they're not sure where they're at?
I always do. I will always work with somebody. And honestly, I have 3 people right now that I'm looking for owner financing for them. And I am making extra phone calls. I will go above, and I know that you do the same thing, but you got to do what's best for the client. And if you're not in for that, then you shouldn't be in this industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you'll be out. And that's the realtors are at 89% failure rate.
80%.
80%.
80% of realtors do not renew their license within
5 years.
the first 5 years of doing business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
But you
what
gotta be
other
creative.
career?
That is significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people, the barrier for entry to get a license is low, but the barrier for success is extremely high. And like contrast that with like a dentist practice, right? Like, or a legal practice. Okay, the barrier for entry is extremely high, right? You have to get an MD, get past the bar, whatever it is. But your success rate is like massive, right? Like how many dentists fail? Like very, very few.
Yeah.
Right? Really low. So that's the difference, and that's why and most consumers are very intelligent. That's why they pick top producers, because he's been in the industry 10 years or whatever,
Sure.
They do the X amount of business. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to be here 5 years from now when we go to sell the house.
Yeah.
That's why the longer you stay in the business, the more business that you get.
Sure.
Because
It keeps
that's
growing.
how the consumers, whether they know it or not, subconsciously or not, that's why they pick.
But that's amazing that's why what you do, because a lot of lenders will not do that. They're like, oh, they're not pre-approved by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think don't you think that's, like people know they got to get pre-approved now because they got to have all their ducks in a row.
Yeah. Even if you make a lot of money, the ratios can still be really tight.
Yep. Yep. That's what I was thinking. Cause I had a guy that owns a state farm and he was like, oh no, I'm a big baller or whatever. And it was like, ooh, he's like,
You're not so big, are you?
yeah. He did fine, but he was just a little, he was like, it's harder to get a loan right now. And I'm like, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys, it appears just from everything I'm seeing and hearing that you guys are growing your brokerage is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I open up my social media, I'm like, oh,
A new agent. Yeah.
A new
And they're not even like new. Like I've got agents that are moving from out of state that have experience, and then they're looking at our company and they're like, okay, you guys are rock stars. Like this is where I want to be. I need to
Mark's
be,
done a good
I need to
job of
absorb this
growing.
growth. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
cool. So what is it then? So, an agent's got 50 choices, more than that in the Valley. Why would they come here?
I'm going to let Stephanie answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can.
Why did you stay?
Yeah. Why did I stay? Well, the reason why I chose here is way different of why I continue to stay here. Like I think people think because Mark sometimes will ask like somebody in the brokerage to meet with new people. when they're interviewing or whatever. He wants all of us to be comfortable too with them, but also because we don't get any kickbacks for getting people to come here. I think people think I get paid to like bring them on or whatever.
Right.
Like I don't. This isn't like, it's not a tier building thing.
It's not a multi-level
but
marketing.
when you enjoy who you work with, and when you we're a work family. When you enjoy who you work with and you want to be around them, the culture is just better. And we don't have a whole lot of turnover here. So I think that's a testament to Mark, and it's a testament to the people that work here.
Yeah.
But the reason why I came here is because I felt like there's a lot of agents that are in our office that are older, wiser, been in the business a long time. And then Mark was just starting out at the time as a broker owner, but I was like, he is so, like, the minute I sat down with him, I was like, he is so smart with technology, with just the market in general. And he's done so well for himself in a very short amount of time. Like I'll brag on him. He's like one of the youngest broker owners for RE/MAX in the nation.
Right
and
on.
yeah, I think it's awesome. But
And handsome.
oh my gosh.
I call it like I see it. And it is what it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're scaring me, Daryl. No,
Thank God he's not ugly. Me and Megan got to be on a billboard with that
I was
guy.
gonna
I know. Well, they make me look better. I was like, it's funny. I was on a date with a girl, and she was like, so the girls that you work with, and I'm like, they're married, and she's like, I just think that you got a lot of game.
Oh my gosh.
You got a lot of game.
She's like, you got a lot of game, Mark. And
Are you still seeing this girl?
No, I'm not.
Game
no.
over.
Oh my
Nah,
gosh.
I just quit calling her back.
Game over. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And it's comments like this that I have to remind him, Mark, we're on a billboard with you. Remember, we're on a billboard with you. Shh.
No, that's cool. It's good to hear you say that about him and knowing that you don't have to. You could have opted not to say anything, but
No, I really feel that way.
How long have you been in the office?
I've been here since I started in real estate.
Okay.
End of February 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
just over 3 years.
It's crazy to see how your business has grown in
Thank
that short
you.
amount of time.
Thank you. God is good. And I have a good broker. And the people I work with, Megan and Mark, I call every week.
Yeah.
What do I do? I'm just kidding. No, we support each other.
You're on an hourly
but-
thing where she has to pay you per hour.
No. No.
Thank God. I was literally thinking of this the other day when I started. I mean, it was crazy market. Mark is like the broker that, like, we were putting buy sells together sometimes at midnight. Like something would get listed.
Wow.
It used to be, Mark was telling me that the market used to be that houses would always get listed in the morning or always like, during the business day. Well, back then they were getting listed at 10 p.m. Like the minute you have the listing together, it's going on and it's going to go.
Yeah.
So we were putting buy sells together. And
within hours of them coming on the market. And it's like, honestly, I'm glad the market did shift because I was so stressed out. I had all these new agents. I'm writing buy sells at like midnight, and like I had to be very very competitive with my splits to get people to join. So it's like I'm not making any money. Like I'm just like funding the company, right? Like all of this. So I mean, it was fun. I learned, man, the education that you get from that. Selling real estate is one thing. Helping 6 other people sell real estate all at once, like totally different game, totally different education. And man, you get good.
It's kind of fun to hear you guys on the inside, hear the process.
Yeah.
I could only imagine what it would have been like in that season, just because even as a lender, I was like, I was new because I came in 2020.
Yeah.
And it was just
wow, I didn't realize that's when you started. Good for
chaos. Absolute chaos. But yeah, that's cool. You got
but there's not many brokers that would stay on the phone with you till 1 a.m. going over a buy sell.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good job,
I didn't
guys.
realize that you were so new in the business either.
Yeah. I didn't know that that's
carry
when you
yourself
started
well
it too.
Oh, stop, dude.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
You really do. I had no idea. That actually shocked me. I thought that
Really?
you'd been a lender like since 2017 or 16.
No, March 2020.
Wow.
Literally, I
right
started.
before.
No.
It's
I
like
quit my job, and the news lit up with COVID.
Oh my gosh. You
And I
were
was like-
probably.
And the broker I was with at the time,
Oh my gosh.
he goes, let's go for a walk. And so we went for a walk. He goes, Darel, I have no idea. The rates had shot up because lenders didn't know what to do because of COVID.
Oh yeah.
And he's like,
I remember
Darel,
this.
I've never seen
I didn't
anything
know
like
that.
this.
I remember this.
Life I don't know what to tell you to expect. And I was like, oh my gosh,
I just quit my job.
I just quit my job. And then within 60 days,
You're like, praise God.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because they would call and they're like, hey, I want to buy or I want to refinance. I'm like, why are you choosing me? I don't have a freaking clue how to do a loan. They're like, no, man, we love you. We trust you. I was like, honestly, I felt it was one of those moments where you're just like, I don't deserve any business at all. But the floodgates kind of just opened.
A little imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Okay, so I started not in like that market, but very similar. And I kept thinking, now looking back, seeing agents starting now, I am so thankful, and you probably feel the same way, that we got to do so many transactions our first year that you got to learn how to do what it would normally take most agents 5 to 10 years to learn, because you got to do so many transactions.
Yes.
The volume was so high.
Volume was so high. I felt like I was drinking out of a fire hose. Mark and I operate a lot the same in the sense that like we both will look at each other and we're like, we both need food and we need to stop the conversation and the teaching moment.
Literally,
like we need to walk away.
We're going to die or we're going to kill each other.
Blood sugar level is too low.
Yeah, but there was a few times that I looked at him, I was like, can we just pick this up a different day?
So,
this is a lot.
Have you all experienced like imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Unpack it a little bit. Just so
okay,
I
just like kind of what you were talking about, that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't deserve.
I don't
deserve this.
Yeah.
Or like when we both became incredibly successful, like quick.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like,
and him too. Yeah.
And you as well. And you're like, you don't believe that you did anything. It feels like you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And even though you look back and if you like log all your hours and you log all the things that you learned and you're like, oh no, like I freaking like hustled. Like, I did a ton of work.
Yeah.
And then, there is kind of that thing. You drive by the billboards or whatever. You drive by all that marketing and people know your name and you kind of feel like, why? You're like, I didn't do it. Like, I don't deserve this or whatever. And it's like, oh no, like I've really put myself out there. Like I look at the property videos. It's like, man, I've made like over like 35 videos. Like, I didn't. And I look at when I started to when today, and it's like, I'm a totally different person.
Yeah.
And that's what the imposter syndrome is that you're changing as a person.
Sure.
And so you're not really recognizing who you are. I struggled with that last year. I really did. I was like, not exactly sure who I was at that moment. And now it's like, oh no, like this is me. Like I am this guy forever.
It's a tough thing because, like you said, I mean, you're putting in your hours, but I mean, at the core of who I am, I just go, to be honest, I mean, every good and perfect gift is from God.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that. And I look back and go, if it wasn't for that, even though we're, like you said, I mean, we're putting in the grind.
Yeah.
There's something that happens supernaturally that when you're willing to come to the table.
It is supernatural. It feels supernatural. It doesn't feel, there's no other way to explain it,
Yeah. And I get what you're saying. I have a friend all the time that is not the same faith base as me, and I say all the time, like, God's blessed my business, and he always is like, but Steph, you had a choice too. You don't just sit on your butt.
Sure.
So it's like so true. God gives you the gift and God provides for you.
Yep.
But it's your choice whether you take it and go with it or not. But it's just crazy to.
Yeah, because there are there's people out there in your industry, in our industry that like, God's going to provide and that's a cool thing, but you haven't done any business this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to get up
and do it. And
what was your prospecting? Like
I forget. There's like some parable or story or something like that the person at the end of the story is like, God, where were you? And he was like, I was here. Remember this happened and this happened and this happened. You just chose not to see or whatever.
Yeah,
I was there all along. But anyways, yeah.
And the you look at the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
Right. Where, one of them put it in the ground and buried their talent, didn't use it. I mean, I think what we're talking about, and this isn't like a pat each other on the back session.
Yeah.
It's more just like,
it's more
take the things, the care that God's given you for people, the love for real estate, the love for mortgages, whatever it is, and just go hard with it. And I think we're all experiencing, I absolutely love what I do. Are there moments when I'm just like just this morning, the seller of a property, we're literally signing at 11:30 today. A seller records a survey.
You're late.
Yesterday. I'm like, you're going to record us. Are we even going to be able to close this thing on time? And so title's wrestling and you're just going, the borrower's ready to go. And it's just like, but all those things aside, because those come with any job.
Yeah.
this is phenomenal.
I know.
Being able to go heart and soul.
But it's not. Here's the thing is like we love what we do. That's why it's phenomenal. We love like helping people. We love, and I know that's what is that like cliche or whatever. Oh yeah, okay, you love helping people. No. I literally love like it's so exciting opening the door or like at the closing table and like selling someone's house and they're like
the keys,
handing them the keys, whatever, and you hand them like their closing gift and all that, and you get a picture, and it's like that is exciting. It's fun, and you look at the journey that you take with them, and you build. They always say, I learned this in the business from day one, a client will become a friend quicker than a friend will become a client. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Sure.
It's very, very true.
It is true.
One of my best friends, who I've not even known him that long, but I own a boat together with the guy. I met him because he called me off Zillow. I sold him his house, and him and I've never known the guy before in my life. My brother Archie, he's like my brother from another mother. I met him from Zillow. I was his realtor.
I did
Isn't
not
that amazing?
know that.
And him and I are brothers, hunt together, fish together, own a boat together.
Yeah. That's a powerful
But
story.
then I've got other friends who just like never called you, and it's like, well, dude, that's
that's
the trust was built, like truly built there. It was the true friendship was there, the true connection.
I think it's the most
contrast between that is crazy to think. You've had a friend for years. I've had the same thing, and they're like, "Oh, I just refinanced." Like, dude,
you didn't even call me.
Lender, and you didn't call me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I was going to charge you an extra point, but still.
Oh my God, you'll just get icky tax next time. I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
You're late for your closing.
What were you
going to
say?
I was going to say you're late. Is your closing really at 11:30?
I'm excited right now. I'd rather be here. No, it's we're going to sign them as soon as title figures out what the seller did with the. Like,
oh gosh,
it's a little. There's a little pause on that closing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's happening today though.
Okay. Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think to come back to lending, I think it's the most exciting handing people keys and signing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's really exciting, especially the people that you've been working with for over a year to get them pre-approved to a spot where they're pre-approved.
Yes.
That is like, we can start shopping.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah. Huge. Yeah. Very exciting.
Because for so many people, like you said, they're like, I'm never going to own a home. And then it's like life turns around for them. Yeah. They get in contact with the right people, someone like Stephanie or me, and then we refer them to you, and you start giving them guidance. And most people just have never had any financial guidance before in their life, right?
So true.
Like they're the circle, they're the 5 people they surround themselves with don't own homes. They're also broke, whatever. They're not saving money.
Right.
You change that just a little bit. You add a little bit of friendship or a little bit of, knowledge from us. And then all of a sudden,
extend a hand. Yeah.
a year later, their life changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of risk in there too. Sure. People are listening right now and they're like, well, I'm only paying, $2,000 a month. Well, your payment might be 24. Well, I just can't do that. Well, you know what? Actually, you can.
Yeah.
You actually can. And you need to take the risk.
Yeah.
You need to feel.
You can't grow if you don't take risk.
And that's why, that's why a lot of people get to the closing table.
Yeah.
Because, their payment is going to go up a little bit. But guess what? So is their equity.
Mine's going to triple.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm paying $1,300 a month right now.
But you're going to rent your house out.
Yeah.
So you're going to get some rental income.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $1,000 off of $5,000.
I was going to say one more thing to you guys too, just in the spirit of like you were saying, the power of the keys, handing the keys over and being at the table and the picture and the, I've found in this industry sometimes working with different realtors, I don't like being in a relationship with realtors and title companies and whoever's sitting at the table, that there's not that level of excitement for what we do. Like, you've been in that title company where you're sitting across from the closer and you're like, this is the most boring thing on the planet. There's no gifts. There's no excitement. This is a big deal.
The title company told me the other day, they're like, I was like dying inside because I could not get to a closing. And I can count on one hand. I've closed almost 100 transactions. Count on one hand how many closings I haven't been at.
Really?
Yes.
That's so cool.
But they said, Steph, why are you freaking out? That's a normal thing. I was like, that's a normal thing? Realtors and lenders don't show up at closings? They're like, yeah.
Not at this office.
I'm like, not at this office. Mark's like, no way.
No,
But they said it's not a normal thing. I was like, that is kind of sick to me.
The only time I'm not at a closing is if they're out of town.
Yes,
Sure.
out of town. Yeah.
Or you are by chance.
Yeah. If they're signing remotely, or I
Yeah.
literally just
Accurate.
cannot make it, and there's been times when I just cannot make it. But yeah, I probably on
Yeah, you could
on
probably
one
count
hand,
on one
I could probably count
that are
closings that I haven't been at. Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's that passion, you know. I'm not going to say that I would be in the mortgage space if I didn't make any money, but to be honest with you, I think the excitement for it, people ask me like, do you miss, being in the pastorate, you did that for 20 years. Do you miss? Never. I love what I do. And there
and
are
you still
days
get to do
and
the
loans.
same kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's days and loans though that I go, I might just do this for no money.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't survive. And it's
Perfect.
been a great
Yeah.
career, but yeah,
I'm
send them my way.
gonna come get a loan from you for free.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yes. Yeah.
It's
Because you
like
do it
you're in the
like,
thick of it and you're like,
Yeah.
the money is not even,
it comes to a point where the money's not
it's not the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does follow. It follows the vision. It follows the excitement.
Yeah,
And I've had
totally.
awesome, great years. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if it's just,
That's why I'm never afraid. There's so many agents that they don't want to kick in a little money to get it across the deal, and it's like I'll always kick in like
yeah.
Yeah.
$500,
Absolutely.
$1,000, whatever. I'll kick in a little bit. I kicked in like $2,000 to like $1,700 on the last deal I did. Well, guess what? It was their third closing with me.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
I never had to advertise to them or anything like that. I had no marketing dollars spent.
And they could have picked any other
They could have
realtor,
picked
honestly.
anybody.
Yeah.
They just did their third deal with me, third
Yeah,
home.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
So it wasn't a big deal to you.
Very few.
right?
I think it wasn't a big deal. $1,700. That's an easy marketing expense
Yeah.
to across 3 transactions. Very
Yeah.
low.
Sure.
Very low lead cost if you're looking at it from that perspective. And you know how many realtors don't get? I think it's like 9 out of 10 people say that they would reuse their agent, but only 3 out of 10 actually do.
Wow.
Did you know that's literally the statistic? Like only
That's not my
30%.
goal.
Oh no, and we're way higher than that.
Yeah.
Like you and I and most people here, because we just do it right,
Yeah.
right? We truly do take care of our clients
Yeah.
before the sale, during the sale, after the sale, and
Only
because
3.
if you didn't, you wouldn't get some people coming back in
No.
a 3-year period doing 3 deals with you. Like
Yeah.
it just wouldn't happen, right?
No.
And I know a lot of agents, they're like, I get no repeat business. And it's like, well, what do you do? Like after the closing, they're like, nothing. And I'm like, really? You've never even called them?
Oh,
Right.
sad.
It's the same thing in lending. It is like, yeah, mind blowing.
Yeah.
I think that they would, but yeah. No, this is
Well,
fun.
Darel, it's been fantastic having you on the show, man. We
I
will
appreciate
definitely
you
have you
guys.
back. We wanted to have some rate updates and all that.
Yeah.
And it was good to get to know you a little better. And
Absolutely. I
Super
appreciate
fun.
you guys so
Yeah.
much and
We appreciate you.
love seeing you guys winning.
Yeah. Ditto.
go ahead and
That's awesome.
give us what's your social media website, all that.
Yeah, www.grizzlyhomeloans.com. My actual cell phone number is 406-890-8464. I know people will go, well, the bank's got this and that. And I'm like, the bank ain't going to pick up their phone at 11 o'clock at night. They're not going to
No.
respond to your texts, but I'm going to. I'm going to sit down
Daryl's
with you
talked to me
at
on
my
Saturday,
table.
Sunday. He talked to me at 9 p.m. Yeah.
And it's not
Awesome.
it's not a ooh, but it's a hey.
Yeah,
If
no,
you want to
it's-
sit down at my dinner
Yeah.
table, call me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feed you, but no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Appreciate you guys, but yeah, love to talk to you. GrizzlyHomeLoans.com. Love to help you.
All right, all right. Hey, thank you very much. Please share, subscribe, like, get this information out there. We'd love to grow our viewership.